Hello and welcome. You're watching Your Trades on ET Now with me, Snehisha, and with me today is Shreyansi Singh. And well, Shreyansi, very subdued trading day coming in, not as exciting as we made it to be early in the morning.
Absolutely.
Because remember, Nifty implied open or the implied open was indicating an uptick of 150 points early in the morning. We did see quite the gap up open coming in. And tell you what, the index managed to touch as high as 24,999.7 on the Nifty, but failed to touch 25,000, and it was one way down after that. Because if you see, after that spike that came in at around 12:30, after that it was only falling lower, very marginally. Managed to hold on to the green is where the Nifty shut shop today at 24,836. So quite the fall coming in from that all-time high level. But well, yes, that's what the Nifty did, and Sensex was in tandem as well, not doing much on that front as well. 81,355 is where Sensex ended the day. Nifty Bank also 2.4% uptick coming in. 51,506 is where that has ended the day. What's key to watch out for today was India VIX, because a spike was seen on that front at 5.7% higher. So India VIX was the one index to watch out for today. But other than that, let's also take a look at how the markets performed overall and in general. And you had the broader markets, in fact, that outperformed the benchmark indices, because if you take a look at the mid and the small cap, both of these indices have closed with gains of 1% today, while the overall benchmarks have underperformed and not done much, rather flat. So real performance seen today from the mid cap and the small cap space. You had the Nifty PSU Bank, that was the top sectoral gainer, that was led by PNB and Bank of India after PNB came out with its numbers. Nifty Auto also advanced for the third consecutive session. Nifty Auto, mind you, has closed at an all-time high level. So some good moves coming in on that index as well. Nifty Energy also hit all-time high levels today, gained for the fourth consecutive session. Nifty Pharma also at all-time high, continued its gaining streak for the sixth consecutive session. Nifty Bank, however, couldn't sustain its opening gains, but still managed to close with marginal gains. Well, like we spoke about Nifty Bank earlier, Nifty FMCG opened at those all-time high levels but couldn't sustain those gains and closed in the red, dragged most by United Breweries and also Tata Consumer closed the day with a cut of around 1%. That's a stock to watch out for, because those earnings will be coming out for Tata Consumers tomorrow. Nifty IT also opened at all-time high levels but closed in the red, and Emphasis was your top loser. Other than that, I just quickly want to flag off another group of stocks that I was keenly watching out for today in today's trade, and that is the entire railway and the shipping pack. Because take a look at all of these stocks, right? You had RITES up 14%, you had Mascot Dock up 10%, RVNL up 9.7%, Ercon up 9%. Very stellar moves coming in. Take a look at Garden Reach, Cochin Shipyard, Mascot Dock. All of these shipping as well as railway stocks were flying away in today's trade. Rather than that, Shreyansi, what stood out to you today?
Well, absolutely, and there's a lot that really stood out in trade. When you take a look at Ola Electric, that is the IPO that is opening on August 2nd. Now, price band, as we told you this morning, bright and early this morning, that the price band is around 72 to 76 rupees. So that's the one that is all charged up for its D Street debut, and that is the one to keep an eye on. Other than that, of course, there's a host of Q1 updates that you should keep an eye on. So the likes of Bandhan Bank, Cipla, as well as Equitas Small Finance Bank as well. Now, in terms of Cipla, of course, there's a couple of bullish brokerage stances that are coming in. Motilal Oswal reiterating its buy call, and then you also have Goldman Sachs that also is hiking the target. So that is something that to keep an eye on. It was Bandhan Bank that was soaring in trade today, and what an uptick we've seen. The management has also come out with their commentary, and earlier today they also told us that Q2 is also expected to be better than Q1. So that's an important update coming in there as well. In terms of other numbers and earnings to keep on your radar, of course, there's Tata Consumer that you should keep on your radar. So of course, the net profit is expected to slip on a year-on-year basis, but you do have the revenue that is likely to see a surge. So we definitely will be watching out for Tata Consumer numbers on Tuesday, and that is the one to really watch out for, Snehi. But then let's also take it forward and take the conversation forward and take a look at what Milind Vasudeva has to say, because he'll be joining us shortly. Hi, Milind. Milind Vasudeva is the Senior Technical Analyst at Arihant Capital Markets. Milind, what are you making of the market picture right now?
Good afternoon. Actually, last time I was there on the show and I had said that Nifty is heading towards 25,000 levels. And today, if you see, market made a high of 4,999, and we are very close to that levels. Again, if you see on the daily charts, the prices are trading well above the 10-day as well as 20-day moving average line. This clearly suggests that the undertone in the market is positive. And now in tomorrow's trading session, again, if you see, there is a good support for Nifty at 24,700, 24,500 levels. On the higher side, Nifty is likely to test 25,175 to 25,360 levels in couple of days' time. So one has to adopt a buy on decline strategy going forward. Similarly, if you see Bank Nifty also, Bank Nifty had tested the 50-day moving average line and then started bouncing back. Now today we have seen a narrow range body formation on Bank Nifty. However, Bank Nifty also has got good support at somewhere around 51,100 to 50,920 levels. On the higher side, yes, Bank Nifty is heading to test the levels of say somewhere around 51,700, 52,000 levels in couple of days time. So clearly one should adopt a buy on decline strategy going forward. And even if you see, the breadth of the market always remains on the positive side. So one has to trade with positive bias in this market.
All right, so buy on dips is the call coming in from Milleen, and those levels on Nifty and Nifty Bank to watch out for. But Milleen, deploying your strategy only buy on dips, what seems to be attractive right now? What's looking good for you as buy calls as of now?
If you see, Pharma Pack is doing very good, and if you see today, we are recommending a buy on Davis Lab, currently trading at 4913. Keep a stop loss of 4,800 on the higher side. This stock can test the levels of 5113 to 5200 levels. The second stock which saw good buying happening in the latter half of the session was IEX, currently trading at 186 somewhere, and one can keep a strict stop loss of 179. On the higher side, 200 and 210 could be possible in couple of days' time.
All right, thanks, Milind, for joining us. Thank you so much for that update coming in on the market picture and what you're making of it. But let's move on then, and we have my colleague Srishti, who's standing by, who tracks charts very closely and who'll tell us a couple of breakout counters that you're keeping on your radar, right?
Well, certainly. Let's have a look at two of the breakout stocks today. And first up, let's have a look at Piramal Enterprise, because this is the stock that we have highlighted a while back as well. And what a move in today's trading session. Yet again, coming in for Piramal Enterprise, I beg your pardon. If we look at this particular chart, then the stock actually managed to move above its key resistance of 960 odd levels, because you will see on the charts that it was continuously facing pressure and actually attempted a breakout by 5 to 6 odd times. But in today's trading session, a strong green candle is what we have seen coming in for this particular counter. Other than that, the stock actually managed to take a support and a bounce exactly from its 20-day moving average, hence giving more strength to this particular stock. So this is the first stock on the breakout side. But the second counter is actually another large cap counter, another sector that is buzzing, and that is BPCL on charts. If you will see, then this stock also made a breakout, crossing its key resistance of 330 odd levels. Other than that, though, the sector is also in the up move, but for today's trading session, the move was supported by a short covering. Not to forget that the stock has already taken a bounce for the past 4 days, but indeed, after crossing its key resistance level, we thought of highlighting this counter. Yet again, it was a range breakout coming in for BPCL. And these are the two counters that we wish to highlight today. Back to you guys.
All right, so BPCL and Piramal Enterprises on the breakout side is what Shrishti is highlighting for us. Thanks, Shrishti, for taking us through that. Time now to slip into the word from the wise segment, and that is Mihir Vora today, the CIO at Trust Mutual Fund, and he is bullish on the premium consumption theme. And he says that they will continue to be overweight on consumption and aviation. Let's go across and listen in to understand what's fueling this view.
Consumption, especially premium consumption, is what we were bullish on. The second big theme was physical asset creation, which includes the whole gambit of infrastructure, real estate, capital goods, and of course the things that we talked about, which is aerospace, defense, etc., where there is intense focus by the government in terms of policy action as well as encouraging local production. So these are the things that we believe that are doing very well secularly, and we will continue to be overweight on these. I would say that we had 3 or 4 stocks in the theme. Some of them actually went up too fast, so we have booked some profits there because they went up probably much beyond what we expected. And as I said, we've just been around for 3 months. And if you see, stocks go up by 40-50% in 3 months, which is what we were expecting in terms of returns over 1 or 2 years. But if you are getting those returns in 2 months, we don't mind taking some profits, and we have done that.
All right, there you have it. So that's the word coming in from Mihir Vora of Trust Mutual Fund. But with that, it's time for a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some more news and updates, so you don't go anywhere.
Hi there, welcome back. Still watching your trades on ET now. Now, I wish to highlight 3 stocks that were among the top buzzers in today's trading session. And how can we not talk about Bandhan Bank? Stellar numbers coming in. We also interacted with the management, and the stock also did pretty well for itself. If you could just have the chart of Bandhan Bank on the screen, you would see that very stellar double-digit gains coming in, 13.7% higher. There you have it. 13.7% higher is where the stock ended today. Very stellar day. Cholamandalam Investment also, we interacted with the management in the morning, and along with KF and Tech, all of them did pretty well in today's trading session, flying high. And let's go across and listen in to the managements of all 3 of these companies and what they had to say on the path ahead.
In Q1, it generally is a muted quarter for us, and we generally degrow. What we have been able to establish this year, first quarter, is that we've been able to deliver a stable growth, and that's something which is important. Going forward, Q2 will be better than Q1, and Q3 and 4 are definitely our best quarter in terms of advance.
Overall, let's say in the next 3 years, vehicle finance will be in the range of around 50% or sub 50%. And then the loan against property and the mortgages businesses, the home loan businesses will be in the range of around 35%. And the rest of the businesses will constitute 15%.
In terms of the overall profile of the revenue mix that we have, mutual funds in India contribute about 65%. We expect in the next 24 to 36 months that skew moving towards anywhere between 55 to 60% to be taken by mutual funds, even as the other businesses tend to grow nearly twice as fast as the Indian markets for us.
Well, there you have it. So that was a word coming in from those 3 managements. But let's also keep it going with earnings reactions then. And when you take a look at Equitas Small Finance Bank, the kind of numbers that you saw in terms of NIIs, you did see an uptick coming in, 7.9% uptick there. And when you take a look at profit, 86.5% downtick coming in for the profit. Let's also listen into what the management, P.N. Vasudevan, MD and CEO at Equitas Small Finance Bank, had to say about the recent Q1 results, adding that the management is also likely to achieve credit cost guidance. Let's listen to what he had to say about that guidance as well.
So beginning of the year, we had guided that this year the credit cost should be around 1.25%. By and large, we should be able to stick to that, except the fact that this microfinance stress is something that has been building up, and it really came up sharply in the first quarter. So there is only one caveat on that. So I would say that we would just like to wait for the second quarter to come to an end and see how the microfinance slippage and the credit cost is moving up. And basis that, we should be able to guide with a lot more clarity by end of the second quarter.
Alright, that was the word coming in from the management of Equitas Small Finance Bank, a stock that did poorly today, more than 5% lower. But we also have another stock that didn't do very well in today's trading session, and that is Latent View. Now, this stock has closed with a downtick of 4%. We spoke to Rajan Venkateshan, the CFO at Latent View Analytics, and he shared his view on the revenue and margins guidance for FY25 and also what was weighing on the company this quarter. Let's go across and listen in.
At this point in time, we are fairly comfortable guiding that on an organic basis. This is without including the results of Decision Point, the company that we acquired. We'd be able to deliver a 16 to 18% revenue growth. So that's the range that we are setting out for ourselves. I think that's like the base case, right? If we do see, and we are expecting for deal flows to improve in this quarter and the following quarter, we should be able to better that 16 to 18% guidance. Expect that by Q3, we should be back at those 23% odd levels and should be able to ideally deliver a full year EBITDA in the range of, at this point in time, we want to be a little conservative in guiding. We want to, on a full year basis, we should be between 22 to 23. But if deal flows improve, we can actually up that number as well for the full year.
All right, there you have it. So that was the word coming in from the management of Latent View. But let's move on to an exclusive conversation. Now, Vivek Kumar Devangan, chairman of REC, says that recent announcements in budget, as well as capital gains tax and removal of indexation and royalty, augurs well for the company. Listen into what else he had to say in a slice of this exclusive conversation then.
We have been able to bring down our net NPA. At the end of 31st March 2024, it was 0.86%. At the end of quarter one, it has become 0.82%. And most of our stated assets are under advanced stages of resolution, and we expect that we'll be able to resolve all these assets in the current financial year and will become net NPA zero company by the end of this financial year.
The Power Ministry has announced another 80,000 megawatt capacity of thermal power, coal-based power projects, and what would be the REC plan going forward?
Recently, Central Electricity Authority, that is technical arm of the Ministry of Power, they have made a ballpark calculation that the additional coal-based capacity and associated transmission line, etc., will entail an investment of about 6,67,000 crore. We are targeting a market share of 20% out of this business, which is going to come.
With regard to recent budget announcement on capital gain taxes, where it has been announced that there'll be option for the individuals, they can be allowed to invest in a special bonds being issued by REC and PFC in order to minimize their overall tax outgo. So how this announcement is going to help you?
We have a 54 EC bond instrument floated by REC, where individuals can invest to save their capital gains tax to the tune of maximum amount. Ceiling is about 50 lakh. So we hope that more of subscription will happen in 54 AC bond, and this is the cheapest source of fund to REC. So we always welcome more of this investment on 54 AC bond.
Alright, that's the word coming in from the chairman of REC, but let's shift focus, talk about New India Assurance. They've launched 4 new long-term products in the health, motor and property segment on their 106th foundation day. We caught up with Girija Subramanian, the CMD, to talk about the company's innovative strides in automation, product development and a renewed focus on the retail segment. Let's go across and listen in to a slice of that exclusive chat.
We are working a lot on our servicing, client servicing, on product innovation and on automation in a big way this year. And we will be focusing a lot more on our retail segment, trying to get more into the retail lines, trying to see that our product mix gets right and it's in tune with the industry. These are the few things that we would be doing, and also looking forward to, growing in unpenetrated areas this year, so that we add more to in terms of contribution to the nation.
Ma'am, any product launches, new product launches you are planning?
On Foundation Day, we did a product launch of Griha Suraksha for 40-year long-term policy we have done. Along with that, we've also launched a few policies which earlier in our portfolio, but the long-term versions of the health and motor policies we have also released this year, today, and going forward also a lot of products are on the anvil.
Okay. Ma'am, so focus area, which segment you will be focusing more going ahead?
Like for us, health is the biggest segment at the moment, and we will be focusing on health in both the corporate and retail side. And going forward, we'll be trying to do a lot more on home, on liability class of business, miscellaneous class of business.
Alright, there you have it. So that was a slice of the exclusive conversation that my colleague Anurag Shah had with the CMD of REC. But let's move on then, and there's TCPL that is going to be in focus now. Tata Consumer Products is all set to come out with its Q1 numbers, where revenue and margin uptick is something that is being penciled in on a year-on-year basis. And when you take a look at net profit, the kind of expectation is really just penciling in a decline at this point. Vinny standing by with what exactly the street is penciling in. Vinny, over to you.
For Tata Consumers, we're expecting a growth of 17% coming in overall for the company, while in terms of the profits, a slight bit of a decline of 6%. Now, what is impacting the profits of the company also? Maybe, just some adjustments factors we'll keep an eye out on, but profits of the company are expected to see a decline of 6%. Margins expected to see an expansion 15.1% versus 14.6% last year. Nourishco, Sampann, Soulful, all of them are expected to see a very strong growth this time. Out of home consumption means the Indian beverage side, India beverage segment of that could maybe see a bit of a subduedness given that there was a harsher summer coming in. So that is something that we are watching out for in terms of the impact, and volume growths are expected to be quite muted for the India beverage side of the business. Other than that, the international tea business, that's expected to post a softer growth this time on a like-to-like basis. Let's not forget the acquisitions of Organic India and Capital Food, that also will be coming into play. So, how are those numbers shaping up? What is the growth there, or what is the figure in terms of revenue there? That's what we'll be seeing coming in this time in the numbers of the company. EBITDA growth expected to see a bit of an uptick this time in terms of margins, because non-branded business as well as international business, that's doing well, supporting the margins of the company. So yes, keep an eye out in terms of overall growth of the India food side, commentary in terms of raw material as well as the outlook for pricing and strategy going forward, and market share trends in tea are key factors to watch out for.
Well, Ebony, thanks so much for taking us through that. So Tata Consumer is going to be a stock to watch out for closely in tomorrow's trade. But on that note, we're going to bid you goodbye on this edition of Your Trades. Thank you so much for watching.